Hi, everyone. This is the Art of Braids podcast, and I am your host, Karen Tenord. And today is such an amazing episode. And the guest that we have brings so much light and excitement to it. So basically, the topic is staying authentic in the beauty industry and how our amazing guest, Gregory Patterson, balances fun, pressure, and passion. Um, as a beauty professional myself, like I know what it is when you're traveling or having to be on set or working with different people. The pressure is on. They want you to finish at a certain time. You have to do all of this, but you still have to be passionate about what you're doing at the same time, so it comes out amazing. But like I want to, like, I'm big on like having fun with what I do and connecting with my thing, but again, it's under that time constraint, which is super exhausting for anybody in the professional world. So for y'all listening, like we have an expert, okay, Gregory Patterson on our show to talk a little bit more about that. Of course, we're gonna have a whole bunch of laughs, so get ready for that. So right now, before I have anybody wait any longer, welcome to the podcast. Gregory, can you just introduce yourself?
Thank you for having me on the podcast. I'm so grateful to be here. I've been looking forward to this ever since you reached out to me. So, first and foremost, thank you for allowing me in your space to just share some of my gifts and my magic with your listeners. I am grateful. Yes, I am Gregory Patterson. I have been in the beauty space for, I would say, almost 25 years now. Like, I've been doing hair at least 22 for sure. 15 of those have been in New York City the day I graduated beauty school, like literally the day I graduated beauty school. I went to beauty school in Prescott, Arizona. I clocked out. I hugged my mom in the parking lot and I drove to Los Angeles, California. Because I said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it and I'm going to do it. So I did that, lived in LA for a little bit, but I have been able to work with celebrity. I have found my way into television. By way of like working in a salon using a blow dryer. Some woman asked me about the blow dryer, started riffing off why I love the blow dryer. And she's like, have you ever been on QVC? And I said, no, but it's my goal and my dream. She said, what are you doing next week? So then I found my way into the home shopping world of QVC and HSN, eventually into infomercials. So I do infomercials, I do celebrity, and I have been an ambassador for many brands. I helped create a product line, hair tools, and develop a training academy with a big salon here in New York City. I've worked for another really big brand as their global creative director. And now I just signed my 10th year. I'm so grateful. Pinch me, I still cry about it, with Sally Beauty, the beauty brand that I grew up shopping at, running to whenever I thought I could pull my brother's hair through a cap and get it done and think that I knew what I was doing. So I'm so grateful that I just signed my 10th year with them. And now I am here sitting with you, getting to share all the trials and tribulations of all of that. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. And kudos to everything and congratulations on that 10-year contract, because
Thank you.
being able to sustain, like you said, a, a relationship that is very important, especially in the beauty
Yeah.
industry. Like we get bad reps for like personality and stuff like that, like attitudes and this and this and that. But to maintain that it's a like it's a it's a big thing for character, like who you are as a person. That means
Mm,
a lot. And
mm,
beauty is huge, right? So it's
mm.
like, listen,
Yeah.
congratulations.
I appreciate that, and it's interesting. Thank you for that. It is hard to establish endurance with the brand, and it does take a lot of personality, but it also takes a lot of willingness to evolve and shift and change and grow. You know, hair trends change so often, and I feel like so do the ambassadors. They'll find an ambassador that is really popping off with the trend. They'll sign the ambassador, and then the trend changes, and then they're like, next, on to the next. there is something so magical in being able to show up and deliver for a brand, but it just doesn't happen. You have to work at that. You have to constantly be learning and feeding your hairdresser soul and your hands with knowledge and information. The stuff you don't want to learn about, you must learn about so that you can bring it to the table to offer up and also scoot other seats up to that table to be like, I don't know enough about that, but let's pull a chair here for somebody else who knows that. So your role has to be so broad. I like to say like an inch deep and a mile wide. I
Yeah.
want to I want to know a little bit about a lot of it so that I can help identify experts in their field, because I can't do it alone. It's a team. Everything in hairdressing, makeup, beauty, it's a team. There's no one person that can do it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be here without my teammates all throughout my career. You know what I mean?
Oh, it makes sense. And it's like, I was speaking on this on a prior interview where I was saying like there's going to be a time where we do retire. Like you can't do this until you are like 90. You know what I'm saying? Like there's
Yeah.
need for pulling someone else to the table, then also turning that into education. Like, how do we teach the next generation of people to not only know about what we do, but a little bit more? So that way our clients and who we're servicing get the best quality work. So it definitely makes sense to just like come, and even having this conversation is bringing more people into the conversation where it's like,
Mm.
as a braider, I'm only talk about this, right? Like I
Mhm.
can't talk about too much color, even though I have a cosmetology license, right? I've
Sure, sure.
learned all of that, but what I
Yeah,
focus on is what I
yeah,
focus on. So it's
yeah.
like you said, knowing who to bring to the table because I know this is important to know.
It's like the quote, and I know I'm going to butcher this, but in my head, I could see the quote. It's something, it goes to the effect like this: the root never asked the flower for reward for bringing water to it, right? It's like the individual elements, individual components contribute to the global success, right? Like, I'm going to give you an example. You just reminded me of something that was like a career defining moment for me in knowing and trusting myself and my leadership skills, and also knowing and trusting when to say, I don't know how yet, but I recognize that talent in you. Come, come, come along. Let's go. Right. So when Sally Beauty asked me to um, lead the team on Project Runway, it's when like the Kardashians started wearing braids. I'm not a braider. I didn't grow up with hair. Even my sister, like I never played with dolls. I never did the thing, right? So my dexterity wasn't developed yet. So I almost said no to going on to Project Runway to represent Sally Beauty because I didn't know how to braid. Girl, I got a funny photo the night before Project Runway. I had a mannequin head. I have a photo between it's stuffed between my legs. I am on YouTube figuring out how to braid. And I said, well, let me at least know enough about getting it started. But then I had this aha moment when I was on set. When I have been a part of a team, and I grew up playing sports my whole life, right? And this is going to tie back to how you found your niche of braiding, how I found my niche. I think a lot of the pressure of hairdressers today is this overwhelm and feeling of, I have to be a master of all of it. And that's simply not true. You have to know enough about it. You have to be in the space. You have to have had some conversation and some education and have done your research and understand culture and understand religious tradition and ceremony. You have to know enough about it, right? But I had this aha moment when I was showing up to set. This like voice came through me that said, Gregory, your gifts are to show up and be the personality on the camera to rep the brand, to get you to subliminally want this hairspray because I'm using it, right? But the only way I'll be successful in doing my sharing of my gifts is if the team around me is able to shine and share their gifts. So my first day of Project Runway, I had a huddle. I had all different walks of life of hairdressers, some that have been my hair heroes that I was trembling like, I am not going to tell you what to do. Are you kidding? I have you as my hair hero. Like, I have goosebumps right now. And I'm like, but my role is to lead the team and to find your pocket. What brings you joy? Monet, what do you love? I love braids. Jennifer, what do you love? I love this type of styling. Okay, Danielle, what do you love? I love this. Great. When the models come through and I do the consults, boom, 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 boom. When the camera comes to you, I want you to shine, baby. I want you to be in your element. When there's a cutaway, I want you to be so comfortable and living in your zone. That's my role. So I learned to let go and recognize, in order for all of us to succeed, I got to say, I don't know how to do that too. And I got to find out and team up with what you do so we can all have a brilliant and beautiful experience here.
That is,
You know?
yeah, no, that is exactly as far as like the team. And there's too many where it feels like we have to be in competition, or like especially if you don't do what I do, I don't do what you do, but we're
Yeah.
in the beauty industry. There's a lot of people who go into the beauty industry and have no idea about it. They haven't
Yeah.
to learn it, and it fails because they don't understand the thought process that goes on in a hairstylist or in a makeup artist. It's like you have to have that level of creativity and expression. Like you have to tap in and not be afraid to try. And but it's to have like this thing where I was always the braider. I did
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sewing, I went into the beauty school, and they taught you how to do the blow dry, the color, the cut, the all of that. I went there for the credibility, right? Like
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
it for
You
the
needed that license.
official.
Yep.
But I
Yep.
went
Yep.
it was only till later I was like, I don't like chemicals, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't like working with those. I don't
Yeah.
like that. I like braids.
Yeah.
I didn't only say I wanted to work with braids on one type of hair texture. I want
Correct.
to braid every
I
type.
want braids. Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then my clients and family was like, well, you're very painless. Like you don't hurt nobody. So then
Mm.
from braider to a specific painless braider where,
Oh,
so you work with people like the
it's
amount.
niche, a niche, a niche. It's like, yes.
So when people see me, they're like word of mouth. Oh, this person, go to this person because she's my dermatologist would send people to me, and I'll be like, really? Like they said, like, yes, they said I need no tension, and you do it like that. So when you're dealing with people who have illnesses like lupus or cancer, and they're
Mm-hmm.
recovering their hair and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, it's very important to
Mm-hmm.
have someone who is not going to hurt them at the same time. So yes, knowing who can do that, like even on your team, like if there's someone who isn't so heavy-handed, right? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
they do braid and there's two braiders, one who
Mm-hmm.
more of a styling, one's more of hair care. Like it's so many levels.
It's interesting. First of all, like I feel like you also give the best hugs just by the way you express how you braid. I'm like, oh my God, like there's such a tenderness in that, right? And I love that because like they say, like your ideal client will find you, right? And so I just, I don't know, that just gave me so much warmth in my heart coming off from you. But I remember a time, so when I first moved to the city, I was moved here, a big salon asked me to move here and help establish some like product and education and stuff. And I was living up in Inwood. I had never seen a Dominican salon blowout ever, 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 ever. And I remember on Friday night, my first Dominican salon I ever walked by, I'm like, what are all of these women? There are 30 women in this salon. What are they doing? And I'm like, oh my gosh, they're under the rollers, they're under the dryer, the steam is coming out of the room, right? And I'm like, wow. So to your point of like, you know, there's a niche here, but then there's also an opportunity to learn another way to do it, to incorporate, right? So at the salon I was working at and heading up education, we were doing a lot of blowouts, and you know, some of the feedback from the clients were like, it's just so flat, like it's straight. Yes, it is straight, but I wanted like a big voluminous blowout. And so as I observe, I'm like, okay, think of where she comes from and her culture and her neighborhood and how she wears her hair. How can I take those skills and offer some of my skills, and vice versa? How can I share some of what I have been gifted to her so she can add those eggs in her basket to get a bigger, bouncier blowout when that's requested from the client? But when you need that Dominican blowout and mama wrapped up in a doobie, and when you need it to last a week and a half, Sonia, I'm coming to you, girl. Help me. You know what I mean? So it's interesting you say that, because there is somebody for everybody, and you will hone and find your little craft. But please leave a window open, maybe a door cracked, to allow more information to come in, because that's how you sustain longevity in this business. You don't get burned out, and you feel like you're always, always taking in information. And that's the beautiful thing about being a hairdresser. It's one of the very few crafts that we can constantly bring in information and continue to learn and give it away.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, you have clients that come with a photo.
Yeah.
Can I have this? You'd be like, did you ever see me do that? Like, but then it's like
Yeah.
those, you only are successful when you actually be like, you know what? Let me try this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 You're so right about that.
Yeah, you'd be like, there's no, you can actually duplicate what somebody else done in this industry. Like
Yeah.
fashion is a little bit, you'd be like, you're stealing. But
Yeah.
in here, it's like, please, I like this stylist, and
Yeah.
can you create the same look for
Yeah.
me?
Yeah. Yeah. And the gift is, right. So like anytime somebody comes and says, oh, said stylist did this look for me and I want you to do it. Of Well, I need to set my expectation with you so that number one, I don't get let down. And number two, I don't let you down. I always take care of number one first, right? I always be like, here's what I can do, right? So what do you love about this? What scenes for what do you like? I love that too. And then it gives me a window of opportunity to share what I know and bring to the table of hair with you, right? So share with me more about like that style. Why do you love that? Why did you love that on yourself when he or she created it for you, right? And here's also what I love about that, and I will respect, and I love that you like those little bits here. Can I offer some feedback as to what I think would work and kind of give a different vibe to this? Because based on your dress or your occasion or wherever, I think that worked really well there. But my gut, my hairdresser intuition in here is telling me we need to funk it up a little bit. Like that was great for that event, but let's add like a to it, right? So you can put your stamp on it. So then you can then be the stylist that is the next one. My stylist did this for me. Can you recreate it? You know,
Exactly. And then it's
put
just,
your stamp on it.
yeah, you don't have to be completely like this, and being that honest, right? Again, with being authentic in the beauty industry, it's like honesty is like what I don't know, what I'm not going to do, what I can do is
Yep.
very important, especially establishing that trust
Yeah.
with your clients or anybody that they refer. Because they'll be like, oh, well, my client did that. Be like, well, y'all don't have the same hair texture, or y'all don't have the same fullness.
Or that's a wig. That's not her hair. That I love that she showed up with 1B that day and walked out with 10P platinum. But my lady friend, that is not her hair. So bring me a unit and I can install it for you. Then you can have that hair. Yeah. You got to tell the truth.
Gotta tell the truth. But then you
Yeah.
sitting there like, yeah, I can do it. And then now you're all over social media because this is what I asked for, this is what I got. And you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
you have like this big red dot on your head, like no one wants to work
Yeah.
with you
Yeah.
because people will be like, oh well, I couldn't do it. And they didn't know, well, but were you honest? Did you say
Yeah.
no? You can
Yeah.
say
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the establishing that authority and that voice. It is, I'm going to tell you right now, it is the scariest skill to develop. It is. But you can develop it. I know this to be true because if I can speak up, I remember times my voice was shaky. My voice was this. Sometimes I've ignored what I knew to be true, even when it comes down to the science of hair, right? Let's take the product out of it, the styling. Here's what I know about the science and the chemistry of your one hair fiber. Everything that I know in this 20 years is telling me, Gregory, this can the hair cannot survive this journey, right? And I did it anyway. And it's like, you should have left that comment because I did go against what I know to be true just from a science basis. Trust yourself. All my hair people out there, trust the magically sharp and on point intuition that lives inside that little space in your gut. Do not question it. I'm telling you right now, do not question it. And no is also a perfect answer. No is one of the best answers you can give. I'm not the artist for you. No, I will not, cannot, or should not do that. Have a
amen.
nice day. Go get your bagel and coffee. Think about it. You know what I mean? Like I can't do that for you today.
Yeah, because they will
Yeah.
blame you.
Yeah.
So on that, so on
Yeah.
that note, we're going to dive into our questions so we can be a little bit more focused on educating our braiders and our creative professionals on
Yeah.
how to stay authentic in whatever industry, including especially the beauty industry, but whatever industry you may fall into. So you have worked on air and behind the scenes as a stylist and grooming expert. What are the key differences you've noticed between working with clients in person and sharing expertise on a wider audience through TV and digital platforms?
Nothing. 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 I don't talk to you. Let me back up. I will talk on camera differently, my, you know, on camera personality, but it's not that much different. It's dialed to a 7 or an 8 versus if I'm working with you in your private home, in a private hotel, in the chair, in a salon. I am bringing that level of expertise that I bring to you. The television is no more important than you are, my guest. In fact, you're probably more important because that shoot is a one off gig and it's a day rate. But you've been coming to my chair for 5 years. So you are my bread and you are my butter. So for me, there is no difference. There is no disconnect other than rather than talking to one guest, I get the opportunity to talk to 100 million guests on live TV when I'm on HSN or QVC. You know what I mean? So that camera, every time I look at the camera, I'm talking to my mom or my sister. I'm talking to a different age demographic depending on what I'm delivering, and that's who I'm talking to. Or my best friend Amy Pratt, right? I'm like, oh, my friend Amy doesn't know how to curl her hair. So here's how you're gonna curl your hair. You're gonna have to section because you see me section, you know. I do the same thing. So for me, to answer the question, there is no difference. You practice being on camera every day behind the chair with each and every guest.
Ooh, that is so important. So basically, don't treat anybody differently from anybody else. Everyone is important.
I've worked with some A-list celebrities. I am so sorry, but you are not any more important than my client that is in the chair. And if you think you can do it better, here's your brush. I'm gonna go back to my client because she needs me too.
Right.
You know, no, you're all the same. I'm looking at the back of your head for the most of the experience. So at that point, hair is hair is hair. It's hydrogen, disulfide bonds, keratin, amino acids. I'm looking at all that stuff. I don't know who you are, celebrity, or Jan from finance sitting in my chair. I'm treating and I'm coming to you, delivering my expertise the exact same.
No, I completely understand that. And there was just to add to that, I remember I worked at a hair company, right? It's a celebrity a luxury company, and it was so many celebrities coming in. Me, I'm not good with faces or names. So I would treat everybody like everybody, and I would be like the top seller, right?
Yeah.
So they're buying bundles of hair, like from one bundle is probably from 189 to about 300 something. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, they need about two or three, right? So
It's funny. Your numbers were clicking on my head the same. I love that. I'm like, yeah, Bethany.
yeah. So I was just like, okay, so we're going in. And they're like, oh, so I am a celebrity. Do we do celebrity discounts? I'm like, who are you? Like, I
Yeah.
was like, they do, but
Yeah.
who are you? Like, I didn't. So she's like, oh, but I'm like, the person was literally on a radio person. So of course, I don't know what you look like, right? So I'm like, you coming in with I don't know who you are. But even people who have been on like making a band or stuff like that would come
Yep.
in and I'm
Yep.
like, and my manager would pop
Yeah.
in from the back and be like, don't you know who this is? I'm like, no, I'm treating everybody the same. Like, how can I help you? I'm gonna go through the entire process. I must, go through everything with you. But and that was the thing that a lot of people would all just ask for me by name because I didn't treat anyone different. And I connected on a human level where I'm
Mm,
like, hey,
mm.
we're all trying to get our hair done at the end of the day, right? So you could wait, you know what I'm saying? You could
Yeah.
wait or anything like
Yeah.
that. But it was just so funny how they all just like came and was like, oh my God, this person. I'm like, I don't care. Everybody's gonna spend money.
Yeah.
Most of the time the celebrities are not really spending. They're getting it gifted. So
Can we have a moment of silence for that? Most of them are getting it gifted. So when it comes back to treating a client, the television experience, a celebrity, it's all the same. It's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. So I have had some feedback from some brands, from a publicist like Gregory. We really need you to post more of your celebrities on your Instagram. You've got to establish that reputation. I'm like, in my head, I've already established that reputation. I have worked with first ladies. I have worked with, you know, A list Oscar winning celebrities. I'm fine. Why I choose not to do that is when I show up to, like, I host blow dry classes all over the world: Dubai, Thailand, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, Norway, Cape Town, South Africa. When these group of stylists show up to my master classes, they're like, we thought that you would like almost be untouchable. They're like, you go to dinner with us, you do this with us. And the reason why I don't post celebrities is kind of like, most of them haven't given me $1 because it's been a sponsored or a gifted styling experience. So there is no benefit or gain to that. And when Jane from finance comes to look at for my Instagram, I'm going to treat you the same way that I did that A-list Oscar winner. There is no difference for me. you're going to get the same level of care and love and heart and passion put into your hair that he or she did. So none of that matters to me,
Yeah,
right? So, oh no, it's just, no, it's all the same.
it's all the same.
Yes.
And if we're talking about being authentic in the beauty industry, treating people one way, it shows the character. It really reflects on you. Because if you get all extra for this person because of all the glitz and glams that is attached to it, but then you give somebody else like a meteor experience,
Yeah.
it's going
And,
to show.
and here's the thing too, is so I have a private Oscar winning client that I have traveled the world with, have been in his private home with his also Oscar winning wife and their children. The only person to ever cut these kids' hair has been me, right? I've never photographed in their home. I have never invaded their personal privacy. I have never, they are on my Instagram, but they're not crazy on my Instagram, right? Because the trends are going to change. And that hot celebrity is going to come and find you because you can do some edge work and do all this stuff, right? But then when edge work and all the styling around the edges are going to go out of style and evolve and shift to something else, they are going to drop you in 2 seconds to find the next one who could do the snatchiest of snatch ponytails. That's the way the beauty world works, right? So find out who you want to be, discover who you want to be in this world, in this beauty world with celebrity and also your clients, and try to find a way to find some harmony and balance in that. I think for me, that's been the key to my endurance and my relevancy in the beauty world and my longevity with a brand is being able to flex and treating, you from Pocatello, Idaho, the same as you from Miami, Florida, and you from Beverly Hills. I'm here to deliver hair expertise for you.
Perfectly said. Yeah. So we're
Yeah.
gonna question where that is, and we're gonna move on to the next one,
Yeah.
which is, as we spoke on building brands, brand partnerships, and all of the people that you've worked with. As the Sally Beauty ambassador, you've had the chance to introduce a lot of people to the products that make a real difference in their routine. What are your go-to products from Sally Beauty, and how do they help both stylists and everyday people elevate their hair game?
So first of all, girl, that's a hard question to answer. It's like they're all babies, because when you're part of the process and all that stuff and the launching and the signing of the confidentiality agreement, and then like there's a product right now before this podcast that is coming out at the end of August that I'm like, the team, I'm like, can I talk about this? And they're like, when does the podcast come out? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just, I gotta get this product out there because it's so helpful to so many people. I didn't get a response yet. So I'm just like, okay, we won't talk about it. But when hair, right? When you go to hair school and get the license to learn, the learning of hair and how to do it happens after hair school. But the science of hair, the chemistry of hair happens in the textbook at school. Then you go to state board to learn that, right? So when you keep that knowledge with you for your whole approach to hairstyling, you can better serve your clients, your guests, your celebrity, whomever you're serving. You can best serve them when you are able to identify what's missing from their routine. So share with me your routine. I'll help you find what's missing in the link of amino acids, hydrogen bonding, keratin laying down, high porosity, low porosity. Let me help you discover. So to find a favorite product, I don't know how to answer that other than I have to listen consultation. I have to listen to what you're using. I have to listen to what's been working, and I have to dig into my treasure trove of items to pull off on the shelf to be like, it sounds like her hair can't absorb water. We might need to look at her porosity. Have you ever done a hair porosity test? No, I haven't. What is that? Oh, it's when you take a you go through that process. Whoa, it sunk to the bottom. Oh my God, great. Oh, it's floating on top. Great. Go to this collection, right? And that's what's so brilliant and beautiful about Sally Beauty is I have the whole store to choose from. And so do you. You know what I mean? And Sally Beauty owns Cosmoprof, the professional side, right? So it's like you get two worlds to choose from, and that's what is so beautiful and brilliant is there is something for every single human, including if you don't have hair. I can help you care for your scalp, I can help you care for your braids. Oh, you just got fresh braids and they're tight. Here's a braid relief spray that you can put on, right? Like, so it's hard to find a one product or like my favorite products because my favorite products are the one that I've helped identify for you that you then come back. My mom's a prime example. Her sides won't grow. Mom, I've been telling you for years that 450-degree flat iron, you don't need it that high. So then we turned the heat down. And then we used the Bond Bar collection. And mom, you have to use this. And the only way she's going to use it is if I took everything else out of the shower. My mom now has long hair. And I said, listen to your hairdresser. We know. We know.
I feel like they're like the hardest people to get through. You be like, I am a professional.
But like hotter heat does not mean you're going to get it done quicker. It's going to last longer. It's going to get any more shiny. Absolutely not. In fact, the opposite is probably true. Listen to your hairdresser.
And it's free advice.
So those are my favorite product is your hairdresser. The expert.
Okay, so y'all hear it right here.
Okay.
You've been in the beauty industry for years, working with clients in high pressure settings like the Project Runway. What advice would you give to new stylists who want to break into the industry but feel overwhelmed by competition or self-doubt? I think we kind of touched on that a little bit.
Yeah. There is no competition. You are bringing to this world your own set of gifts. My one piece of advice that I see so many new generation hairdressers missing is that opportunity to learn hair the moment you get out of school. I teach at Empire Beauty School. I have these programs and blah, blah, blah. And I go in and they're like, well, when I graduate, I'm going to be a celebrity hairdresser on set, doing this, having a podcast, a YouTube channel. And I'm like, my sweet little hairdresser child, learn, watch hair get messed up and how to fix it. Watch the color change a different color to go back and reformulate it. Sit next to a master to teach you how to cut a line and deal with a shape that doesn't shape the way you want it to. Learn the art and craft of hairdressing before you jump off into outer space. Because first day of Project Runway, favorite hairdresser, I'm like, you're putting 75 pins in the hair. Oh, you don't know how to properly put in a hairpin. Let me show you. Hook, over, slide, push, and game. But sometimes we don't know because we skip over that important information. Don't skip over the vibrant, valuable information that another hair artist has to share and craft with you.
The devil is in the details. It's the smaller details are more important than the bigger ones because it'll get you there.
Yeah.
So learning or practicing on a family or friend, be like, hey, I'll do this for free. Plus they'll help build a portfolio, right?
That's right.
Photos, make sure you get professional photos, or be in the light,
yeah.
Right?
Get up next to your window.
Get to the window, go outside.
Yep.
Like do those things because then it kind of like helps build. Because I've seen people who they're not in the braid industry, like their braiding is getting there, but it's not there. But they're already posting like, look what I did and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, but then like years later, it's always where it's like years later they compare. You can see like the difference in them getting better. They had to kind of like work at it. Like,
Yeah. But that's a beautiful gift. It's almost like a diary, a journal of your journey. Like I don't delete photos off my Instagram because I love to look back at when I first started Instagram to be like, wow, how I styled a red carpet then, all the finesse and that glow to the hair that I wanted to create there, I know how to create it now, and I love to see the journey because it validates the journey. It validates that, yes, you were open to receiving information. Yes, you did practice that. When you didn't have a head to work on, you pulled out a mannequin head and you tried it and it didn't work for you, or it did work for you and you took in some more information, tried it again. And then you arrive at that spot where you're like, that's who I am as a hairdresser,
yeah,
you know?
listen, okay. So now our last informative question is, you got such a vibrant personality. I already touched on that, so you already know. And sense of humor that shines through your work. How do you stay authentic and keep things fun, even when you're under pressure in a fast-paced, demanding environment?
I will never be able to change who I am, nor will I ever want to change who I am. I never read the comments. Your opinion of me, I read a comment once on a YouTube video that I have that has like over 1 million views on this blow dry technique. People are going to comment, and people love to see people fail. People don't love to lift people up really, but we love to make a comment about what you're doing wrong and how you can do it better. I listen to none of that. I don't care what you think about me. I love myself. I love my life. I love how I am in this world. I'm a really good person and I do great things and I work hard and I'm sensitive and I'm quiet and I'm reclusive and want to be alone. I'm all the things. So when I am on set working, you hired me because of me. And so when I get to set, you're going to get what you hired. I do know when to turn it up and I do know when to turn it down. I do know when to back up and be a teammate support, and I do know when it's time to lead, right? So there's a global awareness that I do know that I have established and that I've learned and developed. So that's important to be mindful of because 100% of me isn't always right for the set, right? So it's the global awareness of what's happening on set, who I'm working with, the vibe of the client. Maybe your client on camera has never been on camera and they are so anxious and nervous, and it's time for a little more easy styling. Adapt to that. So read your room and be willing to adapt, but don't ever turn your own light down because a lot of people are going to try to do it for you.
Oh, I love it. Reading the room.
Read the room.
Yeah, like it's very like, you can't take you can take all of you everywhere, but there's a dial button, like it's a volume, right? Like you
Look, look,
dial it
look, look at this light. You can adjust. You can adjust where you need to,
right.
but don't get out of the light.
You that part, don't get out of the light. Because you need to get in the door, right? You can't go in there busting and just like, they'd be like, ooh, who are you first? Like you kind of like, oh, okay. And the more they get to know you, the better it is. I think it's a beauty and discovery. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
Yes.
okay, oh my God, like I didn't know you was that funny. I didn't know you was this. I didn't know. Yeah, there's a process of getting to know me. You can't get all of me in the beginning because then what's the point after that?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you spoke about the comments and not reading the comments, I remember one time I had went viral on TikTok, and it was so like, it happened so crazy. It was like manifesting. There was two people I knew right before me going viral. I went viral, and I was super happy for them. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna be viral because it's getting real close to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I was just like, but I was super excited for them. I'm like, congratulations and stuff like that. When it happened to me, I was out shopping with my brother. He asked me to help him for an outfit. So we went to Macy's. I already had like posted the thing, and I didn't know. I didn't look at my phone again because I wanted to be present with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, when we was done shopping, I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, wait. I,
Today's the day.
I was like, I'm going viral. So we head home. He get in the car. We drive it back. I'm like, it's going up. Like it went all the way up, like to about 4 point something million, right?
I
4.2 million. And I'm like, it was such a simple video. So the video was me working out in this floral pair of like stretchy pants that I got from somebody I'd never met at the time, who lived in San Francisco, that I like ordered to like support her, like, but I really liked her piece. So I wore that, regular shirt, very comfortable, and I'm working out at the Brooklyn Bridge Park. So I'm doing these like uh I'm turning in circles, but I'm doing squats. From what I'm thinking, I'm doing squats, jump squats, crisscross, and turning in 4 different circles. While I'm doing that, there's an argument happening. There's a Karen, right? In the corner,
okay. Yeah.
and nobody's in the view but me because it's my workout video. So I'm just kind of like thinking, but she's screaming at these park patrol officers, saying that they're not doing their job. They're in the corner, they're hiding, and they're arguing back like, you're not my mom, da, da, da. Like all you can hear is all of that, and I'm just in there working out. They're like, I got so many comments where some people were asking me, what am I doing, because that's not no squat. They were like, you're not doing the squat right.
You're never going to do it right in somebody else's eyes.
So no. I was like, I'm not. So then they told me, get all the way down, bring your butt down. So I was like, oh, cool. So I end up doing like it better. So I was like, okay, cool. Look at the new video. The other one was, I love your pants. Where did you get your pants? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is where I got it. Another one was like, you are so unbothered at the art. Like they were like, if unbothered was the person to be you. And I was just dying because it was so many different people commenting. And
Yeah.
it was, I wish I did not like answer all of it, but I literally went through it, answered all of them, even the bad ones, because it was some constructive, because I was like, oh, I wasn't doing no right squats. My squats
Sure.
was
Sure.
horrible.
Sure.
My butt was in the air, like it was not good. But I was like, um, it was a lot to look through that. So I know, like, going further with all of the like different comments and stuff like that, people want to be addressed. And what helped was how I addressed the ones that gave me the bad ones, where they thought I would have took it like bad. I was just like, oh, thank you so much, but I did correct it. And they're like, oh, okay, good. I didn't see it. So it was just like, but I get it with like when you're trying to build something, if you do not have tough skin, or it can be brutal with what they're saying. TikTok, Instagram, and a lot of those people aren't doing what you're trying to do. So
That's the
yeah,
thing. That's
like
the thing. And there could be 100 comments of praise and job well done. But here's why I suggest not reading the comments. It's the one comment that rips you apart is the only comment that you remember and hang on to. So there could be 200 comments of praise and, oh my gosh, you're amazing, you're incredible, she looks beautiful, that looks gorgeous. But there's one that says, what an idiot, I hate his voice, that sits and pierces your heart and starts to break down and turn your light off, right? Do not let other people dim your light.
yeah, that's so true. It will negate every positive comment
Yeah.
that
You don't remember those. You only
like,
remember the bad one. Yeah.
like, what do
Yeah.
you mean?
So
But
the simple solution is stay
so
out the comment section. Just keep
this,
working. Keep doing what you love to do. Keep sharing it. Keep showing up exactly how you are. And the rest of the world, the universe has your back. And so do your other teammates. So go with the universe, go with your teammates, go with people who lift and support you, who pull up a chair next to you at that table, with you at that table, open the door, go with those people. And then you do the same thing for the people that are coming up behind you.
Ooh,
Open it, walk through it, keep it open for the next person to come through with you.
love it. Love it. Yep. And if you can't, you don't want to, another way to get it is like maybe get an assistant or intern and have them go through your social media and then please let them know. Don't tell me what they said.
Block them. I block 5 times. I'm like, click, 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 click. Cultivate the energy that you want. No,
Right.
no,
And
you negative Karen down in Brooklyn, girl, bye.
and there's ways to like, I think there's like the
Yeah, you can
word,
filter it, and
yeah, you
yeah,
can filter certain things. So yeah, it won't even come to you.
use the features, use all the features.
Saves you. Mental health is important.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So now we're gonna figure out a little bit more about you because you done poured into so many of us with our last questions. This is just a fun, real quick question setting. So
Yes.
we have 3 for you. What is something people are surprised to know about you? What is a good book that you would recommend? And how can people support and follow you or connect with you?
Something uh something people would probably be surprised to know about me is like some of my friends, they're like, it's so weird because like I can sit here with you and then I can watch you on TV. And I'm like, is that like I am I am pretty quiet and I do spend a lot of time by myself. And that's I love protecting my own peace and my space. I love going to a park and sitting there for as long as my soul wants to sit there. And then when I'm ready, I get up and go. I love going to the movies by myself because if you are click clatting, chit chatting, crunching on your popcorn while I am trying to snot bubble and fall in love in the movie, and you're coming in my ear, I'm going to be like, so I like to do a lot of things alone. And also, I also like that. And I need that because I am with a lot of people all the time, exerting a lot of my soul out. So, in order for me to recharge, I have to have my recharge space time. Like a lithium battery, it's going to run out, but I need an hour and a half to let all the cells fill back up. So I spend a lot of time alone and I love it. Um, a book, a book, a book. I'm like, do I plug a client or do I share? There is this book. I love an audio book. There is this woman who is a former FBI specialist. She is this tiny. She is Greek. She is from Queens, New York. She started with the NYPD. She became an FBI special agent. Her book, her name is Evie Pomporis. She wrote this book called Becoming Bulletproof.
Mm.
When I tell you that I have listened to her book 7 times. It is one of the most insightful books on protection, on awareness, on learning to communicate and read people. I'm just like, oh, it is this Bible of knowledge, and she is freaking amazing. My other book, top of the list, audio only, audio only. Andre Leon Talley, his book, his memoir, I can cry. His use of the English language and his fashion insight and reference, and him working this close with Anna Wintour his whole life and living in North Carolina. And I could cry. It is one of, I am crying right now. It
Oh,
is one of the most beautiful insights into, I'm like bawling right now, into one of the most magical souls ever gifted to us on this planet Earth. Andre Leon Talley's book, the way he speaks and his nuance and his cadence is nothing short of one of the most magical human beings ever put on this earth. Oh, get that. I'm crying.
You
I
are.
love Andre Leon Talley, and that book is life changing. What was the other question?
Oh, the
It is,
other question was how can people support and connect?
I don't know, read the book. No. Um, I mean, follow me on social. Sure, I'm most active on Instagram, Gregory Patterson Hair. Reach out. I love to connect and I love to share. So don't hesitate to like reach out. I'm not too far away from you. I'm the same as you. I'm here still learning with you. We're gonna learn together. I can't stop crying. I love that book so much. Uh,
Oh, I love.
yeah, so yeah, through Instagram I think is the best and easiest way, and from there we'll kick it off and have a new friendship. Kiki, I would love to meet new people. I can't, the book is amazing.
So look, if it got Gregory crying, then you
Oh
were thinking of it. You like you just thought of it and it got you emotional. So
yeah, it's
that's
beautiful.
um like again, definitely connect with Gregory Patterson off of Instagram, Gregory Patterson here on Instagram. You can also find all of his links on social media. So you'll
Yeah,
do that. Just connecting on like being a loner, and I'm very like I totally get it as far as meeting so many people and because you're so like energetic and welcoming and stuff like that, so many people come towards you.
yeah,
um
yeah.
I'm the same way, and they'll be like, oh, can we do this tomorrow? No. Like I'll be like, I I have to get away. And I love going to the Brooklyn Bridge Park or the Brooklyn Bridge. And
Huh.
I'll sit there like and I'll just take it in. I'll take the breeze, look at the water, be around
Yes,
and breathe, and then I'll
yes,
get up, like you said, when I want, and I'll leave. But
yeah,
it's very important when you're around people. As a hairstylist in the beauty industry, you're around so many different personalities, souls, energies, and it can be draining. So
yes, yes.
yourself and
It
not
can lead to burnout really quick. I mean, think of your clients, right? Somebody's coming in to get their hairstyle to go to a funeral. The next person's a wedding. The next person's dog died. The next person just got a dog. So it's a wave of emotions. And in order to protect your space and your peace, you've got to find an outlet, whatever it may be, that refeeds the soul that you give to others all day, every day for free and at exhaustion. It's physical, it's mental, and it is spiritual what we do behind the chair. So protect that peace and cultivate a space of refresh, recharge, serenity. Like, it is so important to be able to sustain your love and your energy for what we do in this beautiful, beautiful world of beauty that we're in.
yes, yeah, exactly. Protect it.
When I see you at the park, I'm just gonna go. I won't. We'll just sit there and we'll watch the water. But I'm gonna say, I see you, girl. We're doing the same thing. But like, hey.
Yep.
And
Everything
we'll
you
know.
said, I relate. Like going to the
Yeah.
movies alone, people be like, oh, how
Yes.
can you do stuff by yourself? I enjoy my company.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I'm always by
Yes.
myself. People like, oh, you bringing somebody? No, I don't need to travel with anybody.
Yes.
I don't need to go to eat with no. I like to be able to say I'm done and leave when I want instead of being like, hey, you ready?
No.
Like, and I could make myself laugh. I will be cracking up with my own head, and I'd be like, you know what? Let me act like I'm on the phone because I really having an amazing conversation with myself. I'd be like, you know what? That person, like I'll have a whole conversation, and it'd be fine, and then I'll
It
be
is
like,
fine.
but I am totally here. And of course, if we see each other at the movies or at the park or anything like that, I'd be like, let we were
We're
like,
gonna.
mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, oh my God. Okay. Thank y'all so much for listening. And I'm pretty sure y'all probably cracking up as y'all listen to this episode. And I told you it would be a lot of laughter, but a lot of information that you can take away as a braider or creative professional in any industry. So
Yeah.
Thank you again, Gregory Patterson, for sitting and talking with me throughout like this entire time. Because and to be speaking with you for the first time, it felt like we known each other forever. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Everybody, thank you again. This is the Art of Braids podcast. I'm your host, Karen, and you are listening to Gregory Patterson of Gregory Patterson here. Bye now.